Welcome to Reread. We're on Book 12 of the Young Jedi Knight series written by Kevin J. Anderson. This is the first book in the third and final story arc of the series. It is called Return to Ord Mantell. In this one, Streen and Kip come back. At the beginning, they make a little brief introduction where they say hello to the kids. Luke kind of mentions their previous adventures, of course, with the Sun Crusher, and then later on with the Leviathan that he killed, so the comic book had already come out by this point. Later on, Streen and Kip will come in at the very end to kind of help out, but they're basically just kind of bookend guest star appearances there. But it was fun because I had totally forgotten that they were even a part of this. Han is really funny because when he comes to visit, he is good friends with Kip, they say, and he's laughing with Kip. He went, "Kids, did I tell you about the time that Kip got, he said that Kip got the Sun Crusher and drove off into Imperial space with it?" And they said, "Yes, Dad, 100 times. And Kip says, he blushes, he goes, "Something you should not do, kids." Yeah, like murder tens of millions of people. What? Han's just sitting there making like jokes like, "Kids, remind me to tell you the story when Kip took the Sun Crusher out to Imperial space." I mean, he's really laughing about it. And Kip's kind of embarrassed, like, "Oh, Han, shut up. I was a kid back then. I mean, 10 million people died. And I don't know if Kevin J. Anderson is being cheeky with the fans, because he's got to have known by now, especially online, people were just irate that Kip got away with a hand slap about it. So maybe it is Kevin J. Anderson knowing exactly what he was saying with that scene there. But either way, I totally forgot it was in there, and I love it. I laughed out loud when I saw it. This is like in the first chapter or so. They also recount Han has been asked to become the Grand Marshal at this race on Ord Mantell, this derby here, that he's won a few times back in the day. So he's coming back to be the Grand Marshal, and he talks about Ord Mantell. He said, "Hey kids, you know, every time I went there, I encountered a bounty hunter." Because I told you there's like 3 different stories concerning Han seeing the bounty hunter at Ord Mantell. Well, Kevin J. Anderson actually goes in here and talks about each one. He talks about Marvel's score, of course, the one currently that we're going to see wrapped up in this storyline here. But he does a good job covering all of these other stories that happened to Han. Again, way more continuity than I recalled. Now, also, when they go to the planet, of course, he meets his nemesis there, one of the bounty hunters who he met there, Savithros or whatever. And he's saying he's not mad at Han. In fact, he was the one who insisted Han be the Grand Marshal, because even though he spent time in the spice mines of Kessel, because Han outmaneuvered him, he knows bygones are bygones. It was just a contract. No hard feelings as bounty hunters go. And you're thinking, okay, that's believable. But if you haven't read this the first time, then you already know, he's the bad guy. He's connected to the Black Sun. Black Sun is back. They've been very quiet the past couple of years, and it's true you haven't seen much of them in the Bantam era after Shadows of the Empire, when their empire just, the Black Sun Empire just kind of collapsed in on itself. So it's good that they're back in that capacity. That this, unless I'm missing something, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think they may have mentioned Black Sun. I mean, Darksaber, obviously, Black Sun was still around, but they haven't seen them that much after Darksaber, possibly, in the EU. Regardless of that, they also run into Anja. Anja is Galandro's daughter, and she's mad at Han for killing her father, which Han didn't do. As we know from the Han Solo trilogy, it was not his fault. Galandro drew on him, fired, but then he set off the security system that fired a ton of laser bolts into Galandro and killed him. Han knew he couldn't take him in a fight either. Now, he explains that to Anja. Anja's mad because not only did Han kill her father, but now he's part of the big, he's married to the chief of state of the Republic, who has done nothing to help her world achieve peace here. And her world is Anubis. And so, she's like, my war-torn planet, which Han has already heard the name before, because flying through the maze, the little derby race, he encounters a bunch of space mines that almost take him out. Now, is his old nemesis bounty hunter now turned over a new leaf? Is he still evil? Yes, he's evil. But, he tells Han, "Oh no, that must be left over from the war of the nearby planet Anubis." they're always at war, and people may have dumped some war supplies by accident, some war mines out into the thing. Thank goodness you found them in time, or the Derby would have been a disaster. By the way, who wins the Derby? The Rock Dragon, and everyone thinks, oh my gosh, Tenel Khan Lowy won. No, Zek borrowed it, and he won the tournament. Did he use the Force? Heck yes, he did. But people at first call him cheater, and then they get over it and allow Zek to win. It's kind of weird. Lowy and Tenel Ka kind of come in later on. They're purposely out of the story for the first couple of chapters, and then they're brought back in just because they wanted to say hello. I don't know, just because Kevin J. Anderson wanted everyone there. But either way, they all go to Anubis with Han. Han is actually a big character in this one too. He even says he has a hard time thinking as the adults out of the kids. He still sees them as kids, Jason and Jaina, but he knows they're adults now who can take care of themselves. In fact, when they go to the war-torn planet, Anja's with them. We find out already that she is connected to Black Sun in Savithros, and she is also addicted to spice, which actually helps her in using a lightsaber. The twins think that she may have the Force in her, but she goes, no, you don't need the Force to operate a lightsaber. Later on, they invite her to come to the academy because they're still kind of thinking maybe she has the Force. You know, he said, well, even if you don't, he can teach you better skill in handling the blade. And so she agrees to go. Well, all this is to be an undercover agent for Black Sun. Now, already her confidence is kind of shaken a little bit because even though she's addicted to the spice and still hates Han Solo, Han Solo, the twins, and all the Jedi Knights bring peace to her planet. They get with the farmers and the hillside people. Anja was a hillside person. And they kind of hash out their differences. And then the thing is, the war's gotten so bad that they've all booby-trapped the entire planet. So even out in the outer space, there's space mines everywhere on each person's side to kill them. It's very similar to the Melinda Dan issue that we saw in Jedi Apprentice. Except this was publication-wise before that. And so the Jedi go in there and basically just take out all the trip mines, take out all the land mines, the whatever special traps everyone has set up, and then bring peace to the planet finally. Something the New Republic has, and when she complains about the New Republic, Han's like, there are thousands of, millions of planets out there. We can't know everything. We can't, if we would have known about this earlier, yes, we probably would have stepped in if asked. He said, but if we don't know, then how are we supposed to deal with it? So they decide the Jedi go on there. It's an official Jedi mission. That's why Kip and Stream come in at the end to help clear out some of the space mines and everything. And they basically call it a day afterwards. It's kind of a short, introduction story to our final trilogy here. And so far, it's wonderful. I really think Kevin J. Anderson and Rebecca Moesta, I keep leaving her out of this, but yeah, she wrote some of it too. I don't know if she wrote that much, to be serious. I think Kevin just wanted to give her some credits here and a paycheck. Either way, though, both of them are definitely perfecting their craft. These books get better. I don't know if this is my favorite one yet. Right now, it's the Diversity Alliance, but with 2 books left to go, this one had a heck of a start on it. I mean, it came out the gate running, and it's really good stuff, and I really enjoy rereading these. I've always loved them, but they're much better than what I even remember, and that's a good thing. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time.